This section of the program will show you how to groom specific breeds. All of these styles shown are considered pet trims, not the required trim of the AKC, American Kennel Club. Please keep in mind, however, that in many cases what we discuss about one breed may also be true for other breeds. For example, it is important that all breeds be carefully brushed, combed, bathed, and dried before grooming. This will ensure the best conditions for a successful grooming session. After general preparation, long-haired non-sporting dogs such as the Bichon Frise are groomed using a combination of scissoring and clipping. Begin by clipping the pads of the feet. Use the clipper without a comb on the fine setting. Do not cut between the toes, just remove the hair in the V of the foot. Clipper the stomach and groin area and around the rectum with a clipper set on a medium length. These are all very sensitive areas. When clipping around the rectum, do not actually touch the rectum with the clipper. When using a guide comb attachment, the correct guide comb will depend on the coat texture. If your Bichon has a thick plush coat, you can use a closer attachment such as a guide comb number 2 and get a nice look. For a thinner coated Bichon, a longer attachment such as a number 3 or 4 would work best. With the proper comb attachment on your clipper, start just behind the shoulder of your dog, clip down the back, and follow the contour of the rib cage. Skim down the side of the rear leg or thigh. Clip from below the ear and throat latch, straight down the chest and shoulder. When viewed from the front, the shoulder should form a straight line to the floor. Trim the front legs to look like cylinders. The rear legs should show angulation and be cylinder-shaped from the hock down. Start by trimming around the feet to give them a rounded look. Be careful when trimming between the toes. Trim the chest area to follow the contours of the dog. Blend the hair. The top of the head should be trimmed to follow the contour of the skull. The head should have a round snowball look. Trim the ears into the same round shape of the head. Be careful to always know where the skin of the ear is when scissoring the ear into the roundness of the head. The eye should look set in. You can use a Pocket Pro to very gently clean the hair from the inside corner of the eyes. Comb the hair on the skull forward and scissor a shelf over the eyes going from the outside corner of one eye to the outside corner of the other eye. Comb the hair on the ears, the sides of the face and beard down, and scissor from the back side of one ear straight under the chin to the back corner of the other ear. Comb the hair on the top of the skull straight up, and scissor from the bottom tip of one ear up and over the top skull to the bottom tip of the other ear. This should form a nice ball. The tail of the Bichon is carried over the back and should be left natural looking. Tipping to neaten is optional. This home-groomed Bichon has a neat and clean appearance. The next dog we will groom is the Poodle, giving it a lamb trim. You begin by trimming the feet using either the rotary motor clipper RM6000 or the direct drive Kennel Pro, depending on the thickness of the coat. Also set the taper lever to the fine setting. Have the dog sit facing you and bring the rear leg forward. Clip the top of the foot from the nails to the end of the toes. Trim only as far as the ankle joint. Spread the toes apart and cut the hair between the toes using the outside corner of the blade. Be careful not to nick the webbing. Spread the bottom pads and trim between them. Repeat this trimming on the other 3 feet. Hold the muzzle of your dog in your free hand and clip from the left ear to the outside corner of the left eye. Make this line as straight as possible. Next, stretch the skin at the outside corner of the eye upward and backward. Then carefully clip under the eye. Do the same thing to the right side of the dog's face. While holding the muzzle, clip the inverted V between the dog's eyes. Do not clip above the eye. Then, holding the dog's mouth shut and keeping the skin stretched, clip around the mouth, lips, and cheeks. Do the same thing on the other side of the dog's face. When clipping the muzzle, clip away from the eye toward the nose. Then hold your dog's head up and clip the underside of the muzzle toward the Adam's apple. You can then clip the rest of the throat area up toward the Adam's apple. Set the dog on all fours with one side facing you. If you have a No. 1 stainless steel guide comb attachment, snap it on now for the body. The attachments are sized to accommodate the thickness of the dog's fur. If using plastic combs, use No. 1 or 2 on the body and No. 4 on the legs. The first cut is from the base of the skull, about 2 inches behind the occiput, to the base of the tail, going with the grain. The second cut is from the front chest to the tail. Follow the contour of the poodle's body and clip all of the body coat, leaving the legs, head, and tail. Stop just above the elbow and skim off at the hips, clip down the chest and between the front legs. When clipping the tail, use a close setting. With the tail down, use a visual line from the bottom of the rectum. To set the line to begin the pom-pom on the end of the tail, clip against the grain toward the base of the tail. To trim the tail, hold a few pieces of hair from the center of the tip of the tail straight up. Comb hair down toward the base and scissor around the tail from bottom to top to form a nice round pom-pom. Use the No. 5 stainless steel guide comb attachment on the legs. Clip the front legs in a cylinder shape, tapering to the cuff. The top knot of your poodle should be in balance with the palm on the tail. Start by blocking in your top knot from the outside corner of the eye to the front of the ear. Scissor straight up. Scissor a straight line over the top of the ear to the back of the skull, about 2 inches behind the occiput. Repeat on the other side. Comb hair forward over the eyes and scissor from the outside corner of one eye straight across to the outside corner of the other eye. Now your top knot is shaped. Comb hair from the front to back, straight up. Tip the remaining hair to form a round ball. This is a nicely groomed poodle. The next breed is the West Highland White Terrier, or Westie. Using the Show Pro clipper with a short taper lever setting and stainless steel attachment No. 3, Start clipping from 2 inches behind the occiput, down the neck, and back to the tail. Come down the sides to the widest point of the rib cage and blend out into the skirt. Clip from throat latch area to breastbone, making an inverted V from the breastbone to the top of the front of each leg. Use the clipper on the close setting to clip the tips inside and out of each ear. Trim the edges very carefully with scissors, holding ear leather between your fingers. Scissor around each foot to form a round, natural shape. The tail can be clipped with the same blade that was used on the body. The underline, which is opposite the top line, runs underneath the dog from the groin to the elbow. This is trimmed slightly, showing a tuck up at the last rib. The head of the Westie should be round and spiky looking. The hair on the top skull should be trimmed to about where the ear tips start. Scissor around the outside of the head to make it round. Blend the sides of the dog using guide comb attachment number 2. This is a nicely groomed Westie. The next breed we will examine will be the Cocker Spaniel. This breed must be brushed and combed to remove all mats. Then after bathing, the dog is ready to groom. Use the Kennel Pro clipper with the close blade. Much like the face of a poodle, begin by clipping in front of the ear canal, holding the ear back out of the way. From the ear to the corner of the eye, use the thumb of your free hand to pull the eye back and down to clip under the eyelid. Shave down the muzzle from eye to nose. Pull the bottom lip back tight to clip this area. Clip about 2 fingers above the breastbone, upward in a U shape to the outside corner of each ear. Using the same blade, clip the top of each ear from the base of the skull to about 1/3 down the ear. Clip the same amount on the inside of both ears. Comb the hair on the ears down and trim the ends either in a U shape or straight across. Clip the top skull with the grain. First, clip the hair from between the pads of the feet. Scissor the feet round and tight, trying not to expose the toenails. If your clipper comes equipped with a taper lever, clip hair from around the rectum using your clipper in the fine position. Next, clip the hair from the groin to the navel area. Clip the back from the occiput to tail. Blend off sides, following the growth of hair to the widest side of the rib. Clip the body from the base of the neck to the tail, using your clipper in the coarse position. Blend the hair on the shoulders with the hair on the legs. Then blend the hair on the legs to give the legs a round look. Length of the skirt is optional in a pet trim. Another option is to remove the skirt and just leave the legs. Blend hair at the top of the legs and scissor legs round. This is a very easy maintenance trim with not a lot of hair left to mat and leaving a bit of style. Finally, blend the hair on the chest. When grooming a Shih Tzu, you begin with the feet. Trim the hair between the pads of the feet using a close blade. Then clip the belly and rectum area very carefully. Using a No. 2 attachment comb, start at the back of the skull about an inch or so behind the occiput. Clip down the back to the base of the tail. Scissor the feet round while combing the hair down on each foot. Keeping the scissors on the table, make a tight circle around each foot. The length of skirt is optional. It can be trimmed to just come off the floor or cut short for a cleaner, neater appearance. Head styles on the pet cut of the Shih Tzu can also vary. You can trim a circle, much like the Westie style, from the outside corner of one ear down under the chin and around to the back of the skull. Combing the hair forward on top of the head over the eyes, scissor from the outside corner of the left eye to outside corner of the right eye. Scissor the hair on the top of the head to about 1 inch. Trim the hair from the inside corners of the eyes, going away from the eye. Do not clip down the top of the nose. This will look messy growing out as the hair will sprout straight up. The tail can be trimmed slightly at the tip or left natural. Clip the hair from the stomach and groin areas. This is what a well-groomed Shih Tzu looks like. This dog is a mixed breed. It has a poodle type of coat with a little Cocker Spaniel thrown in. There are many different styles for mixed breeds because there are so many combinations of dogs. When grooming this dog, we can use a No. 2 guide comb attachment on the body. When skimming down the legs, we can use a No. 4 guide comb attachment. Instead of a skirt as with the Westie and Shih Tzu, follow the contour of the body down the side and drop off underneath the dog. Give a very short underline following the crest to the elbow. Blend the shoulder into the leg at the elbow. Blend the hips into the thighs. Scissor front legs to cylinders. Back legs from hock to foot should be cylinders as well. You've seen how to groom a number of different breeds of dogs. You have also seen the different clippers manufactured by Wahl Clipper Corporation and the various attachments that make grooming your pet fun and easy. With a little practice, you will become skilled at grooming your dog.